Hey, if you're just joining us, just check your work from the review, and if you have questions on it, please write in the chat. Um, Let me know if you don't understand how we get something. Um, for 9 through, was it like 12 or something? 9, 9 through 14, it's graphing. I have it on the other page, but we'll look at that after we're done with the other ones. Let's see. For if someone could do me a favor and just type something in the chat so I know it's working, that would be great. I don't care what you type, just type something. Okay, yeah, it's working for you, Audrey. Yeah, I changed some settings in YouTube. It's not gonna give you a notification if you're subscribed to my channel. You're gonna have to go through the link in the classroom. It's just another layer of security put in, and then afterwards I'll take it off so you can see it through the um, YouTube channel, but just adjusting things. So today we're just going over the review. If you have questions, ask, check your work, make sure it makes sense to you. If you're getting something that I'm not getting, please let me know. Maybe I made a mistake, or maybe you made a mistake, and we'll figure out how to get to the correct answer. Your test is tomorrow, but it is currently posted. I think it went live yesterday, actually. So you can start that whenever. If I could get that by the end of the week, that would be great, but technically tomorrow is your day to work on that. After that, we're going to start radicals, and we'll get as far as we can on radicals. We got about a month left here, so maybe a little less. I have to rework the science stuff because I want to shorten it, so I want to cut it down, and I haven't decided how well I want to do that yet. So hopefully by tomorrow I have that figured out and posted for you. And once science gets posted, it's probably just going to be like, hey, finish this, and then you're kind of done. So hopefully that makes life easier for you as we wind down the end here. And I know there's someday you do make rounding. I don't know what day make rounding is. I have it written somewhere. Unless that was today or yesterday or something. I don't know when you're actually doing it. Again, today is the last day for you to ask questions if you're not understanding something. So really look over it good here, see if there's anything you're not getting. And let me know if I need to do a few examples. We did not do inequalities. I know there are some in there. Word problems were, honestly, what was it? 42 and 43 were pretty much just square root problems. I did not put anything like that on the test. I just have normal square root problems. Make sure you are getting the positive answers for those, because negative widths and lengths and radiuses just don't make sense. That's in the other layer. So make sure you're doing that. Again, did not do inequalities with you, which you can probably figure out on your own. It's just graphing it and then shading either up or down on the curve. Same way you did linear inequalities. So. When it comes to the test, I think I have it set up so I give you a bunch of quadratics and just ask you to solve any way you're comfortable solving. So whether you want to just use the quadratic formula for all of it, go right ahead. Some of them are easier to solve in other ways. So if you know a variety of them, it will make your life a little easier. But again, completing the square and quadratic formula will solve all of them, which is a great way to check things as well. But yeah, if you have questions, today's the day. Can we do number 5? Yeah, we can do number 5. I am going to hide my face to give myself more room. I think it's that one. Nope, it's that one. So number 5 says, do 5 down here, we get y equals 3x squared minus 7. And we want to find our axis of symmetry, our vertex. So to just axis and max or min. So we want axis of symmetry, we want vertex, and we want max or min. This one here is probably the easiest. Again, you have an a value here, which is positive 3. So this is going to be opening upwards, so it should be a min, which is what it says over there. So we do have a graph that's going to look like this, because it opens upwards due to a being positive. So we do have a min for our vertex. So that's the easiest one to get out of that. So I know it's a min. Our axis of symmetry you need to find by using negative b over 2a equals x. So remember that little formula. And again, just be careful because you don't have a b term here, so b is 0. So if I were to actually list all my variables here, I have a equals 3, b equals 0, and c equals negative 7. So when you plug in 0 for this, you're going to get 0. So here your axis of symmetry is at x equals 0, because that's the line that it's going to be at. And you see it's over there. And then your vertex, again, you can use the fact that your axis of symmetry is 0, so your x-coordinate has to be 0, and find your y-coordinate from that. Or you can use the fact that your y-intercept is going to be negative 7, and 0 is on that y-axis, so your y-intercept would be negative 7. But you can plug into your formula to solve, so y equals 3 times 0 squared minus 7. Again, all of this just goes away, it cancels, it's 0. So you get negative 7. That's a y. Y equals negative 7 there. So your vertex is going to be at 0, comma, negative 7. And I can put my face back. Yeah, I didn't even use that space, so hopefully that helps you out there. Just remember you do have a b value, and your b value is 0. So that might have been the trickiest part of that. And let's delete all of that. I guess that's in the other layer too. Let's delete all of that. Again, if you have any other questions, be asking. Today is your day. $42. Ah, okay. 42 is one of those word problems. It gives you the formula for what is it? It gives you the formula for, okay, the volume of a cylinder is given by the formula V equals pi r squared times h, where r is the radius of the cylinder, h is the height. The cylinder with a height of 10, so your height equals 10, has a volume of 140. So volume equals 140. It wants you to the nearest tenth of a foot. What is the radius? And it wants you to solve for radius. So this is just a formula work problem. You're just going to plug into your formula here and solve. V here is 140 equals pi is actually a number, so we're going to call it pi. R squared, we don't know, and h is 10. Over here, when I plugged in, I put h in the front, which is fine because it's multiplication. Either way, you're going to divide this side by 10 times pi. Divide this side by 10 times pi. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. And you can round your pi there. So I'm just going to use 3.14 because it asked me to round anyways. So 140 divided by 10 gives you 14, then 14 divided by 3.14 is going to give me what is that? 4.46-ish. It's about there. And that's going to equal, again, the 10s are going to cancel, and the pi's are going to cancel, and this is going to equal r squared. And that wants to know what r is, so I take the square root of both sides. And square root of that is 2.1. 2.11, I don't know, 1/10. Yeah, 1/10 equals r, and this is feet. I am not going to take the negative square root because having negative radius doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, just because you can't have negative radius on a thing, so that's going to be your answer. It is just formula work. Plug into the formula and solve. It's just making sure you can do your square roots, making sure you understand that this square root cancels your square. Can you do number 8? Yeah, I can do number 8. It says y equals 1/2 x squared plus 6x. Yep, that's it. Okay, so right away we want to find axis of symmetry. We want to find our vertex, and we want to find our, we want to know if it's a min or a max. So here we're going to list our variables. So yeah, we have an A value, we have a B value, and we have a C value here. Our A value is 1/2, our B value is 6, and our C value is 0 because we're not adding or subtracting anything. So looking at our 1/2, we know that it is positive, so it's going to be a min here because our graph is going to open like this. It's going to go upwards, doing positive, which makes that vertex a min. So right away, axis of symmetry. For your axis of symmetry, what you're going to do is you're going to plug into negative b over 2a. So this equals negative 6 over 2 times 1/2, which equals negative 6. Okay, well, negative 6 over 1. 2 times 1/2. Half of 2 is 1. And then when you divide by 1, you don't change things. So we get negative 6. So our axis of symmetry is x equals negative 6. And our vertex, we know because of our axis of symmetry being negative 6, we know that our vertex is something where x equals negative 6. We want to know what y equals. That's our question. So I'm going to plug in negative 6 for x and solve. So y equals 1/2 times negative 6 squared plus 6 times negative 6. Negative 6 squared is a positive 36. Half of 36 is 15 plus 3 is 18 plus negative 36, which we'll just clean up, minus 36. And 18 minus 36 gives us negative 18. Yeah, because those are halves. Equals negative 18. So our vertex is at negative 6 comma negative 18. So double check to make sure that worked. What is this? 8. X is negative 6. Yeah, vertex is negative 6, negative 18. And it's a min. Yep. So again, just be careful. If you don't have a C value, it's adding 0. And that's where the 0 comes from. Any questions? I'm going to switch the answer sheet here to 9 through, what is it, 14, so you can check those. Just so you can get an idea if you're graphing things correctly. Again, I did my best on graphing once we get all our graphs here. Right, so there's 9 through 14 if you ignore that layer. Right, so your graphs for 9 through 14 should look similar to this. So here our vertex is looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, what is that, 0, comma, negative 4, you should be around there. Here your vertex is looking at 0, comma 1. Here you're looking at 0, comma 0. Here you're looking at, oh, this one's gross, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5 and like 1/4-ish. I don't know if that's what it actually is in 1, 2, 3. Should be negative. I don't know if that's actually where that's supposed to be or not. This one here is a little gross too. That's 1, 2, and like 3/4 maybe. Oh, that's just the y value, and that's over in like 1.5. I guess I should say fractions. And over here, you're looking at your vertexes 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Best you can. Again, I'm not going to ask you to graph things. I am going to ask you to do, like, hey, where is the axis of symmetry? I'm going to ask you where the vertex is. I'm going to ask you where your y-intercept is. But actually making the graphs, I don't want to have strange pictures floating around. So there's that. All right, I'm going to go back to the other one, just so you can finish checking that. Again, tomorrow is your test. It's unlocked now if you want to start it. Today, I'd like it by Friday. Yeah, just be checking it over. Ask any questions if you're not sure where anything came from. Number 20. 20. Oh, you can skip 20. Oh, 30. You said 30. Sorry, I can't read. Number 30. So 30, you're asked to find the number of solutions. If you recall, that's the discriminant. So we're going to find the discriminant. We have a formula for the discriminant, and it's whatever's under the radical in the quadratic formula. So let me make sure my face isn't in the way. Yeah, okay. So you remember your quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This part here is the discriminant. So we're just going to use that part there. So that is b squared minus 4ac. And we want, I don't even know, what is this for? So this is 30. We have x squared plus 4x equals negative 4. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get this equal to 0. So I'm going to move this negative 4 over by adding 4 to both sides. So this is going to turn out to be x squared plus 4x minus, or plus 4 equals 0. So I'm going to use this, not this. And here, A equals 1, B equals 4, and C equals 4. So I'm just going to plug into it. So I'm getting 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. And you'll note that 4 squared and 4 times 1 times 4 are both 16. So this becomes 16 minus 16, which equals 0. And when it comes to the discriminant, if the discriminant is 0, it's going to have one solution. If it is greater than 0, I guess I should actually use math. If it is greater than 0, I guess it goes the other one. I don't know here. We're going to call this D. If the discriminant equals 0, it has one solution. If the discriminant is greater than 0, it has two solutions. In other words, if it's positive. And then if the discriminant is less than 0, it has no real solutions. Or in other words, your discriminant is negative, right? So in this case, it is one solution because our discriminant was 0. Alright, if there's no more questions, you can pause the video and keep looking at this and send me an email if you come up with one later. Um, but test tomorrow, start radicals this week. Not too difficult. Just gotta make sure you're good at finding factors of things and you'll be alright. So I'm going to end it, and I will talk with you on Wednesday unless I hear from you in an email. I did not post any new science. I'm hoping to get that posted by the end of the week, and I'm hoping to set it up so it's, hey, these are your assignments for the rest of the year. Once you get them done, you're done with science. So we'll see how that all works out as the week goes, and if you have questions, again, always email me. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.